Welcome to the Jared Briggs Show. You guys, we are getting this stuff figured out. See how much smoother and nicer this is? We got a transition so you don't watch us the whole time while we're messing up and getting things figured out. Austin's the boss. He's the man. So he's walking out. He's leaving us. You guys, welcome to today's show. We are going to be talking about being intentional with money. We've also got number 2 where we talk about the money reset. That's what I call it right now. We'll see what that turns into, and then also the Reddit questions. Austin and I just had a conversation. We are actually going to start chopping up these videos into shorter form videos. So if you guys don't catch the whole live, go to my YouTube channel, especially at Real Jared Briggs. You can find me on YouTube. Currently approaching 200 subscribers. I just crossed 100,000 views on YouTube, so that's kind of fun too, just to watch those numbers and see what's working and what's not working. We still got a lot to learn, so it's fun to watch all this stuff happen. So had a friend message me yesterday right after I ended the live. He enjoyed it. I really appreciate that. That was a really cool thing. So thank you for that. You know who you are. Well, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about money. Let's talk about getting better. Let's talk about winning. Are you being intentional with your money? Every penny is valuable. Every single penny is valuable. You either have the opportunity to earn more money off of that money, you have the opportunity to invest it, you have the opportunity to use it, you have the opportunity to enjoy it. Every time you spend money, it's an investment. You're either investing in yourself, you're investing in experience, you're investing in fueling up your vehicle. That is an investment. You're investing in the opportunity to travel faster. You could walk, you could ride a bike, you could ride a horse. But every time you fuel up your vehicle, every time you buy groceries, every time you pay your utilities, pay your mortgage, like, are you expressing gratitude in those things? Are you being very intentional? I used to be in a very scared mindset, and it's something I still find myself slipping back into at times, where I live in scarcity, I live in fear, I live in worry of like, oh my gosh, I'm spending money, or I did this. And that is a product of a lot of different things. But I really focus on changing my mindset into the focus of I'm making an investment and I'm putting this out there in the form of good, and I expect good coming back. What I mean by that is every time you spend that money, like, are you being intentional? Are you being intentional on where it is going, what it is doing, the products, the service, the time? One thing that I've become a big benefit of, or a big believer in, is how can I buy back my time? A lot of people look at, I'm going to use an example of having somebody clean your house or detail your vehicle. Yeah, you could go to the car wash and detail your vehicle yourself. You could spend a whole Saturday and detail and clean, like deep clean your house. You could totally do that. But what if you could take $100, $200, $300, whatever it is, once a month, or whatever your schedule is, and pay somebody else to do it? One, we're creating a job. We're adding more value out into the marketplace. And 2, we're buying back our time. So where is your intentionality when it comes to your money, comes to your investments, comes to what it is specifically that you are doing and working on? Being intentional with your money, guys, we don't have to make this long. We can make this as simple as possible. And that's what I want it to be, is very simple. Just take an audit. Take a life audit of yourself. Have you ever heard the thing, audit your thoughts, audit your finances, audit your relationships, audit all of those things? If we get an IRS audit on our taxes, we freak out, right? Because it's like, am I buttoned up? Am I doing things right? Am I? Well, why don't you do an audit of your own things within your life? Don't wait for things to be forced to get better. Audit those things. Another thing I would be very specific on is, are you intentional with your money, but are you also intentional with your relationships? Are you hanging around people that complain about money, that don't believe money is important, that negatively talk about money, that are stuck financially? Maybe they are today at the same position they were 2, 3, 4 years ago. Are they a positive thinker? Are they a motivational person? Are they celebrating your wins? You see, I don't want to hang around people that you can tell they get frustrated when you win. Now, that's a scarcity mindset. You guys, there's so much opportunity. Being intentional with our money is also being intentional with our relationships and the information that it is that we are taking in. Are you taking good financial advice? Are you hanging around good people? Like the people that you hang around, would you want to trade your life for their life? If that happened, would you be excited? Like, oh yeah, I'll take your life. It's good. It's inspiring. It's headed in a positive, influential direction. Or would you be like, oh heck no, I don't want their life. Oh, they're a good friend, but I don't want to. Like that is affecting you. Everything is affecting you. And so I thought of this that, are you being intentional with where you are spending your money? Are you being intentional with the people you're hanging around? Are you being intentional with the things that you're learning and that you're doing? It's very important, and it has a lot of influence on our lives, nonstop, all the time. It does. So do an audit. You guys, do an audit of your life is something I would invite you to do. We're going to jump right into the next section. We're going to make this a little bit quicker today because of some other things going on. We're going to jump right into number 2, where we talk about the money reset. The money reset is, are you being intentional? And let's create some specifics around being intentional. Do you know your income? Step number 1. These are 3 steps to increasing your income that we're going to talk about and that I've talked about every single day for 8 days, 9 days now, 7 days, somewhere in there. We've been going live quite a bit, and I've enjoyed it. I feel like this one is already better than the first one. And so I've been intentional on thinking about these things and how can I really talk about the things that are important and that I feel within my heart and my soul that I want to share with people. And hopefully, I freaking hope you get value from it. I hope there's something here, even if it's just one thing that changes your life or improves your life or makes today better, makes this week better. That is the goal here. So step number 1 to making more money, collecting more money is, do you know your income? Do you know where you currently are right now financially? How much are you collecting on a daily basis, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever your financial situation is? Do you know how much you are collecting every single day, every single week, every single month, and every single year? Are you being intentional in that? Step number 2 is then getting specific with creating a wealth creation plan. We don't do budgets here. Budgets are limiting. Budgets are like hanging out with a friend that is keeping us stuck and keeping us in a negative mindset. We want to create a wealth creation plan. We want to create a plan that fits your lifestyle. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you, there is a way for you to be a good person, a good parent, a good spouse, a good sibling, a good child, a good provider, a good U.S. citizen, a good everything. There is a way for you to be good at all of these things. I hate when people say you can either make a lot of money or have a lot of time and not make a lot of money. I don't believe in that. I believe there is a way. I truly believe there is a way for us to accomplish everything that it is that we want to do here on this earth. Like, why would God put us on this earth to be one-dimensional? Why would God put us here and give us the opportunity to come here to earth and gain experience and learn and all of these things if we can only be good at one thing or oh, you have no time, but you have a lot of, like, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I want to find the code. I want to crack all of it to where I can be a good person, be a good husband, be a good father, be a good team member and business owner and leader, and there's a way for all of it. But what are we being intentional on? I mean, that just fits so well. Are you intentional? So creating a wealth creation plan is knowing your income. It encompasses step number 1. And then, what is your fixed expenses? What are your variable expenses? Fixed are the ones that are same every single month. Variable are the ones that change a little bit. Your gas, power bill, everything else, right? Groceries, all those different things that are similar, but they change, right? You can get an idea. You can get a ballpark on what it is. That's what I do in my finances. Every time I go into my system and I manage my money every single month, you guys, I have it labeled as kind of an idea, but then I'll make adjustments. So I'm like, I have an idea of what's going to happen, but if I need to make an adjustment, I will on those variable expenses. So you first need to know your income, then you need to know your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, and then we're going to get intentional on where our money is going and what we're doing. You see, we know how much we have. We know how much we got to spend to cover our bases, right? But then let's create a plan to start paying ourselves first. Let's start creating a plan to be intentional with our money of where it's going. Is our big goal right now to buy a house, a down payment, buy a rental property, start a retirement account, start a business, pay debt off? What is the goal? Well, let's focus on creating wealth. I'm actually going to get into some Reddit questions that I found earlier, and one of them is I love, because if what you focus on expands. If you focus on I got to get out of debt, I got to get out of debt, I got to get out of debt, you're going to get more debt. It's a crazy freaking mindset thing. It's wild. But if you are intentional and you say, all right, we want to create wealth, we want to generate wealth. My wife and I very, very, very rarely have a conversation about our debt. We have a mortgage, we have a few vehicle loans, and we have plans to get those things paid off sooner. If we finance something for 4 years, we want to get it paid off sooner, but we don't talk about those things. I don't want to focus on debt because I don't want my debt to expand. I want our wealth to expand. I want our investments to expand. I want our investing in real estate and properties and growing the business and all those things. Those are the things that I want to expand. And so we're going to talk about this on some the very first Reddit question. But being intentional is creating a plan and you execute that plan. You see, take your money and invest it into, I call them like specific accounts. We're going to have, here's a spend account, here's a vacation and gift fund, here's a creating wealth, here's a this. Well, let's dump as much money into the create wealth account as we can. And then we create a rule, a system. And that rule is, okay, every time this account reaches $5,000, we're going to take $4,000 and put down towards debt. Okay, so if you have credit cards, like one of the questions we're going to get into is, if you have a credit card and you owe $5,000 on it, well, don't take the full $5,000 to pay off that credit card, because now you're down to nothing again. So if an emergency or situation comes up, a medical thing, a vehicle thing, X, Y, and Z, everything that happens in our lives, well, now you got to use credit cards to get yourself out of that again. We want to start operating from the perspective of cash. I use credit cards. Don't get me wrong. I don't even have a debit card. Every expense I put on a credit card. But I pay it off every single month and be intentional with leveraging a financial tool to accomplish our goals and dreams better. So that's step number 2 is using step number 1 to know your income, know your fixed expenses, know your variable expenses, and then let's create a plan to create wealth. And if that plan is we need to get rid of some debt at first, fine. But we're going to be intentional on creating a wealth creation system and process, because guess what? If your focus is paying off debt, and you get all your debt paid off, well, now you've created a habit of paying debt. Let's create a habit of building wealth. So we're going to stuff all of the money that we can into a specific account so that when all those debt things get paid off, we have this habit of stuffing every extra penny into this account. Well, what if you build up a habit of, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month into this account, and all of a sudden you're debt free? You're like, holy crap, look at this money piling up. Let's start putting this to work. Let's start building wealth. Let's start being intentional, okay? And so that is step number 2 and a very important step in the process. And then step number 3 is, how do we increase income? You're going to automatically start increasing income because of the system that you're building. You're going to start earning more interest. You're going to start being intentional where your money is going. But let's take that even a step further. What are some skills? What are some systems? What are some side hustles? What are some certificates? What is some education? What can you do? What haven't you been paying attention to that you could then use to increase your income? You guys, creating wealth will happen so much faster by increasing your income than it will ever by saving and hoping to get a specific interest rate on that money. How about we make it to where we can have so much money going into those accounts, and we also got a great interest rate or rate of return or equity building, or whatever your system is, real estate or stocks or retirement accounts or life insurance, or there's so many different things that we can invest into. Let's grow our income so that we have more money to invest, and then we can take that and compound it over an extended period of time. In the last 2 days, I talked a lot about, if somebody went and learned new skills that helped them increase their income by $30,000 to $50,000 a year, Like, I'm going to do the math again for you guys. Let's say somebody that's 30 years old, they want to retire at 68. That's 38 years. Let's say they could increase their income by $30,000 a year. That's $1,140,000 that they would increase their income over that next 38 years. Don't you think that would be so much cooler to earn another $30,000 a year than, hey, I can save $200 a month, and hopefully that will turn into enough for retirement. Let's increase income, then let's invest, let's save, let's grow, let's compound, and let's continue to increase income. What if you could increase your income by $5,000 a year every year for the next 30 years? You're going to be so much more ahead financially. Inflation isn't going to even matter to you because you're like, I'm growing faster than inflation. I'm investing faster than inflation. My compounding is way better than inflation. I'm winning in so many other areas. You're not even going to notice those things. You're going to live your life based on how you want to live it because you can, because you're in charge, you're in control, you're making those things happen. So that system right there, know your income, create a wealth creation plan where you know your money, you know where it's going, you start paying yourself instead of paying everybody else, you're intentional with your money, where it's going and what it's doing, and you just compound that over and over and over and over. It's not going to be wild numbers in the first month or maybe even the first year, but 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, you're going to be like, holy crap. 1 month, you're going to see progress. 2 months, you're going to see progress. And you continue to compound that and you continue to grow that. Okay? All right. That was step number 2, or that was the second item here. Now we're going to jump into the Reddit questions. These are fun. I love seeing people's stuff. I'll just let you guys know what I'm doing when I'm writing. So I've got everything written here, what we're going to talk about. And for Austin, in the sake of editing and publishing, I write down the time. I've got a screen right here. I write down the time of when I started talking about a new topic, so then he can come here and he doesn't have to sit there and watch the whole video. So it's just a sake of time when I'm doing this, okay? All right, let's talk about Reddit. If you guys don't know anything about Reddit, Reddit's pretty cool. I'm starting to really enjoy Reddit. Okay. Oh, no. There was let's see here. I had it pulled up, but when I opened it, it refreshed. Dirty bugger. Let me get back into it because I'm pretty sure I saved it. I really liked this person's, they and them, right? Isn't that the proper way? I'm just kidding. All right, so this is FOIRY under the debt advice section. We're going to be talking about credit cards. We're going to be talking about debt. So, you guys, I literally pull up Reddit. I'll just show you real quick. For any of you that are new and been watching this stuff, I literally just pull up Reddit and find questions, click on them, I save them, and then I try to go back and comment to these people because I appreciate their vulnerability and I appreciate their knowledge-seeking everything. It's freaking cool. So, all right, this person is asking, I'm taking half my paycheck bi-weekly, $600, $600-ish, and putting it towards my cards. I am trying to figure out if it's more beneficial to put the entire amount towards one or split it between a few while also making at least minimum payments. We just talked about this. This is what I was talking about right here. In order of highest to lowest debt. Okay, so they've got $4,967 at 0% until September 2026, $3,735 at 0% until September 2027, $1,581 at 0% until June, $601. Car loan. The minimum is $202, but they're paying $601, and then a $400 card at 33%. I just got paid today. Should I pay off the smallest debt at 33%? Or put the payment towards either the 1.5 or 4.9 as those promos ended this year? I don't want to wait till it's too late on the highest balance. Freaking start small. In this situation, The smallest is $400, and it's a 33% interest rate. I would pay that. You can pay that off today. Pay that sucker off. $400 gone. Now I would lower everything. This is what I would do. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I would create a wealth creation plan like we talked about in step number 2. I would get your income figured out, your fixed, your variable, and then start creating a wealth creation account that you start piling money into. Because paying off debt sucks, you guys. It's awesome from the perspective of, cool, I just paid off this debt. I don't have this debt anymore. But it is so uninspiring to give money to a debt. You know, like the extra. You know, this person's given like $400 extra to the car loan. That's like uninspiring. But it would be so much more inspiring to watch your savings grow. Your wealth creation grow, your strategy and plan grow. So I would advise this person, let's start with the lowest balance. I would reduce everything to the minimum payment, and then I would just start piling money into a specific account. I have a credit union where I bank all my personal stuff out of. I have a money market in that account, and I compile all the money into that account. When I'm trying to pile money, if I'm not trying to accomplish something, like if my wife and I have a project that we're doing, I move all the money to my life insurance policies. I actually very rarely hold money in my bank account. Right now, my wife and I have accomplished a couple projects, just waiting to get the people to send us the bill. So I've just had money sitting in this money market account, and I earn a tiny bit more interest, right? But I compile into this account for a purpose, for a specific purpose to transfer. I would tell this person to start taking every extra dollar, make minimum payments on all of your debt. Minimum payments. Start taking everything extra and start piling into this account. Okay? So let's say your total, you said 600, there's another 400. So that's $1,000 a month. Is that right? If that's correct, you would be stuffing an extra $1,000. And then when you pay like that $400, 33% one, whatever the minimum payment on is that, now that goes into this account. When you pay off another one, that goes into this account. When you pay off another one, that goes into this account. So you're piling all money into one account. I would figure out for yourself what would be a good dollar amount to hold at all times. You know, if a unplanned for situation came up, how much money would that take? 500, 1,000? You know, where's your comfort zone there? And I would create a plan like, okay, every time let's say your comfort zone is 1,000. Every time my account gets to $5,000, I'm going to take 4,000 and pay off as much debt as I can. Okay, so you'd pay off that 400, you'd pay off that 1,500, and then you'd put a big chunk to that 3,700. All at the same time, you're making minimum payments. And then I would build, pay off. Build, pay off. Build, pay off. Next thing you know, if you're putting 1,000, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you've got about 10, 5 in credit card debt. Well, if you're saving 1,000 a month, you're going to be out of debt within the next 8 to 9 months if you did that. And now you're out of debt. You've got these credit card things paid off. You can continue to do the same thing and then start stuffing, you know, a $4,000 every quarter or whatever it is into your car loan. And you'd have that, depending on how much you owe on it, then you would have those things paid off. That's what I would do, because now you've created a habit of stuffing money into your wealth creation plan instead of giving it to companies, giving it to debt service. All right? That's what I love to do. We have created society. The financial institutions, all of these places have been so well at training the American people to give their money to everybody else. I want you to think about it. You are working your butt off, 40 hours a week plus whatever it is that you're doing, and then you're paying and giving that money to everybody else. Why not start paying yourself? Why not creating wealth for yourself? Why not put that into your system and then pull out of your system and then pay them, okay? Because once you're done with this, you get the car and all that credit card stuff paid off, and now you're like, all right, I'm saving a ton of money. I'm putting 1,000 to whatever into this account every single month. Now I'm going to keep doing that. I've built this habit. I'm going to keep stuffing money there. And then next thing you know, you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. And now you're looking at opportunities to invest, to grow, to educate yourself, to travel, to experience life, to enjoy life. That is a way better system than I'm gonna give an extra $600 to these credit card companies every month. No, let's build your wealth. So, great job, by the way. You've got a great financial situation, a very good financial situation. You execute and you're disciplined, you're going to be debt-free really, really quick. All right, I'm going to refresh this. Let's find another one. We've got like 20-ish more minutes. Where to put my money? I think, no, this is one I've already done. Why are we not getting a refresh? Come on now. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, $15,000 buried and don't know how to get out. I wonder if my internet's having a fit. Hopefully this is still live and everything's good. I'm going to turn on my other internet thing real quick. All right, this is from ALLAIRE Sophia 18. $15,000 and don't know how to get out. Since a career change 5 years ago, I've amassed almost $15,000 in credit card debt spread across 3 cards. Thanks to my additional part-time job, I've been continuously making payments. But last month, with the holidays and an unexpected family emergency, I got behind and now I'm maxed out and completely buried. I feel so irresponsible and I have no idea how I got here. I think I'm realizing I'm much more financially illiterate than I ever realized. Hey, don't be hard on yourself, because guess what? All of us are. We have zero education in elementary, middle school, high school, college. We have zero financial education, ladies and gentlemen. Like, our financial education in this country is you figure it out as you freaking go. So don't feel bad, because I remember when I first graduated and I was like, okay, I'm on my own. I got to figure this out. I didn't even really know how to balance a checkbook or really take care of those things. I was like, how do I pay a bill? I had no clue. I was freaking out. So don't feel bad. We all start there. Let's get better. I just don't know how to get out of this mess. Personal loan, debt consolidation. I don't even know where to begin. None of those things. Let's create a plan. Has anyone ever been here or know what I can do? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've never been in a situation like this where I've been like buried debt-wise, because it's scared the shiz out of me. I've been terrified of it because I watched it all growing up. And I'm so scared now, and I've worked on it, but I'm so much to the point now where unless I have the money to pay cash, and most of the time I don't pay cash because I don't want to lose earning opportunity on that cash. But I'm like, I could afford things, and then I still don't do it because I'm scared of like having too many payments. So I'm the opposite of it. I had so much fear and scarcity around this that I'll just be totally honest with you. I've never been in this situation, but I have been in a situation where I had no money. I was living paycheck to paycheck, so much to the point where I'm like, a vehicle place wouldn't even give me a loan because I don't have the income. So I was so much on that side of it, okay? But I've watched this my whole life. And so I'm speaking from a perspective of knowledge in a lot of different angles. I don't know where to begin. Please be kind. It feels so hopeless right now, and I keep beating myself up for being stupid enough to end up in this situation. Hey, don't beat yourself up. You're all right. You're all right. You're $15,000. I promise you. If it was 1.5 million, then we'd be like, oh, frick. But $15,000, you can knock that out really quick. I don't know any of your other financials. I don't know your income. I don't know your other expenses. But what I would do is know your income and then create a plan. What are your fixed expenses? What are your variable expenses? Go through those things and cut out unnecessary things. And then let's start focusing on how to get these things paid off. I would focus from a perspective, just like the last individual we just went over. I wouldn't focus on paying everything extra to those. I would focus on paying everything extra into your wealth creation plan, into a specific account that you've labeled for the purpose of creating wealth. Right at the start, we're going to use that account to get out of this debt because this debt is keeping you from creating wealth. but we're going to stick, make minimum payments on everything else, and then just start piling as much money as you can into this account, and then set a rule. Hey, every time this gets to $1,000, I'm going to take 500 and put down extra, or I'm going to build up, create a system and a plan. But you are not in a bad position. You just need to get very intentional on your system and your plan. A good job, though. Well, way to be open to learning and gaining knowledge and experience, and asking for help. That's the first step. So good job. All right. Why is this not? I've read a lot of these. I've read a ton of these. Hold on, you guys. Oh, now I know why. Here we go. Okay. Would you ever skip the home inspection? Does anyone actually enjoy budgeting, or is it just me struggling? No. It is not you struggling. Kevin-Durant-35. I doubt this is Kevin Durant. But if this is Kevin Durant, KD, I hate budgeting with a passion. I think it is awful. So no, you're not the only one. But let's go through this. Does anyone actually enjoy budgeting, or is it just me struggling? I've been trying to stick to a budget lately, and honestly, it's rough. It's rough. I make a plan at the start of the month, try to save a bit, and keep track of my spending, but somehow it never goes the way I expect. Random expenses pop up, I treat myself once in a while, and suddenly my perfect budget is ruined. I know budgeting is supposed to make life easier, but sometimes it just makes me stressed. Oh boy, does it make me stressed too. The reason why is because unexpected things pop up every single freaking month. I mean, think of like paper products. You never run out of toilet paper, paper towels, paper plates, whatever, tissues, whatever paper products or plastic products you use on a regular, you never run out of one item at the same time. It's like, oh, frick, we're out of toilet paper, paper towels, napkin, everything at the same time. And then you go and you're like, frick, I just spent $200. I like to buy in bulk. I hate one at a time. And yeah, it's expensive. That's just one example. Like, everything happens all at once. You never know when a flat tire is going to happen. You never know when a nail is going to bounce off the back of someone's truck and then you're the lucky winner to run it over. You never know when those things are going to happen. That's where creating a plan, not a budget, but it's like, I'm going to be intentional with a system and a process. I'm going to build up oh, crap happened. Great, I got the money. I'm going to plan I want to spend $50 a month on myself. Great, put that into your system. I want to enjoy eating out. Great, put that into your system. I like energy drinks once in a while. Great, put that into your system. I want to travel. You could call it creating a budget, but a budget is limiting. A budget is saying, okay, I can only spend $100 on groceries this month. Okay, well, what if I need 120 worth? Like, I hate that. The next step here is I would create a system where you pay yourself first. Stop paying everybody else. You work your butt off every single day, every single month, every single year, and you're giving your money to everybody else. You guys, a great book for this is The Richest Man in Babylon. Create a habit, create a system, create everything that is paying yourself first. Like, you pay yourself first. And then create categories. Hey, I want to give money away. I want to vacation and gifts, spending, retirement, investing, all of these. Create it. And so even if it's $5, you're like, hey, I'm going to give myself $5 for this, and 5 here, and 5 here, and 5 here. That's why I talk about the money reset. Know your income, create a plan, increase income, because increasing income is going to be the thing that helps you the most in all of these things. But you first got to know how to manage it. You first have to have a system. So no, you're not broken. You just need to look at it from a wealth perspective instead of a limiting perspective. So I would check that stuff out. All right, great job though. Way to be intentional. Surviving on low pay. What does this mean? Let's go here. How are people living on such low pay? I'm in my early 30s, work full-time, and can't afford the $2,500 rent in my area. Son of a buck. Where I live, $2,500 a month buys a really nice house. really nice house. Is everyone on assistance these days? Student loans, car insurance. How is anyone able to live? Is everyone making 60K or less in low income housing? To be fair, 25 is out of reach for most. Yeah, dude, 2,500. Like, I would get creative there. If in your area the lowest is 2,500 and you got a couple of bedrooms, find a freaking roommate and charge them 750 a month. Now you just made 750 a month. Get creative that way. I would say you need to do the money reset thing. You need to go through your finances. You need to know them in detail, and maybe you do. From there, you need to focus on how to increase income. Ladies and gentlemen, there are people out there making a lot of money. You know, if you're making 60 grand a year, there are people out there making 100,000 a year, working the same amount of hours that you are. Okay? So go educate yourself on how to earn more income, on how to do those things. That's where you need to know your income. You need to create a plan. You need to be very intentional and disciplined with your money. And then step number 3, you need to focus on how to increase income. Because increasing income, like you're never going to save yourself out of this situation. You're never going to save yourself out of this situation. Because if you're paying $2,500 on rent right now, 10 years from now, that place is going to be $4,500. It's just the nature of the beast that we live in. You need to be very disciplined, very intentional, know what is going on with your finances, and you need to start increasing income every single day. Okay? Good job, though. Way to be intentional on that question, on the things that you are doing. How prepared are you financially for sudden unemployment? Ooh, this is a bummer. How prepared are you financially for sudden unemployment? This is a good thing, Pink for Lover. This is whacking people left and right with AI and all the things going on in the United States of America right now. It is something that we do need to be prepared for. And I would say, you know, where is your money? What is it doing? And how accessible is it? This is one thing that I look at with my financial strategy that my wife and I use for retirement planning and all the things that we do. Our retirement money is accessible if we need it. No penalties, no taxes, no nothing. And I think that's important. I think that's a very leverage of money where it's still growing in retirement, but I can still access it if I need to. And then also, you know, what is your system and process for growing and building all of your finances? Very, very good question to ask. I don't understand. Money problem is because no tracking. Here we go. Financial planner. This is a good question. Small business. LLAMADRAMA updates. This was posted 57 minutes ago. Hi, I'm growing enough that I'm considering getting a financial planner to make sure I'm growing and investing correctly. Does anyone use one? Can anyone walk me through what they use them for? How to benefit from a financial advisor planner and how to find a good one? I would interview them. I would create a what's important to you. What is your goals? What is your dreams? What are your desires? What do you want your financial life to look like a year from now, 5 years from now, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in retirement? What is your tax? You know, what do you want to be doing tax-wise? When is it you want to retire? Like, I would create, you know, like, what is your overall goal when it comes to financially? And then I would go interview 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different people. I would find multiple different companies, multiple different advisors. I would use like Facebook groups. I would do all of those things and interview them. Here's my system. Here's my process. Here's what I want to do. How can you help me with this? You know, one thing about a financial advisor and a financial planner, unless they charge for their time, the only way they make money is if they sell you a product or a service. You know, investing, managing your retirement accounts, managing your money, selling you some type of product or a service. That's how they make money, or they charge you a fee. And so you need to make sure that that fits within your plan, fits within your strategy. You guys, there's a lot of really, really good people out there. A lot of really good financial advisors, a lot of very good people that understand money from a perspective, but not does every one of them fit your system, your process. So that's what I would do. I do it with banks. You guys, I just a couple of years ago moved my main business account to another bank account because I wanted it to be more accessible. Where I moved to didn't have the branch that I was currently using. I interviewed 3 or 4 different banks here locally and asked them about their stuff. And a lot of them were like, oh, well, we've never been asked these questions. We are investing our money. We are investing our life. We are investing everything that we have into these areas. You need to know how they work and how they operate and what they do. And, are they personal? Are they going to remember you? Are they going to like you? Are you just another freaking number? And so that's what I would do. Go find somebody that you vibe with. Go find somebody that fits your philosophy and your idea. There's no one perfect financial strategy or plan out there. Some people, like I just had a conversation with one of my team members where I explained to her, I was like, I don't believe there's one financial plan. What she likes and what I like are going to be different, but I'd like to be diverse in the sense of I can offer for multiple different people within my current business that I'm doing. That's the same thing, you guys. There's no perfect plan out there. You need to go find the system, the process, the people that are going to help you achieve the things that it is that you want to achieve. All right. So for sake of time, and we're right there, we're going to cut this one a little bit short. I got some other things that I got to jump to, but we talked about being intentional with money. We talked about the money reset, know your income, create a plan and increase your income. And then we went over some awesome questions on Reddit. You guys, I love the questions that people ask in here. I think it's super cool. Super cool, the knowledge that people are seeking. Reddit has a lot more stuff than Facebook and Instagram and all those. There's conversations happening in here that are very educational. So I appreciate all of you that have commented in here. You guys, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Again, this is the Jared Briggs Show. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. YouTube's really been a fun place for me. We take all of this stuff and we post it on there again in shorter form videos. And I'm working on creating some other things to actually educate and teach these things that I talk about in detail. So if I can help you guys with anything, please let me know. But you guys have a wonderful day and be the best. Be the master of your life. Take care. Catch you tomorrow.